Senator Chuck Schumer, the senior senator from the state of New York and a tireless worker on behalf of students and residents of our state, has come by to honor our students. Senator Schumer serves as the third-ranking member of the Democratic majority and chair of the powerful Rules Committee. Harry Reid's announcement recently, he's expected to become the Democratic leader of the Senate. He received his undergraduate degrees from Harvard College and his law degree from Harvard Law School. Senator Schumer has made this a special trip on several occasions because of his support of Marist College and the recognition that in this class are some of the future leaders of our society. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome New York's senior senator, Chuck Schumer.
Stay here just 1 minute, guys. Thank you. It's great to be here. Before President Murray sits down, I want to just say a word about the amazing job he has done here at Marist. He has changed this university from a fine regional university when he took over to one of the leading national institutions of higher learning in the country. His 36 years have been amazing. We're glad he has one more year, but congratulations to Dennis Murray for the great job he has done. Now it's my honor to address Chair Hancock and Dr. Carvalho, the members of the platform, the friends and family of the graduates, but most of all, you, the class of 2015 Marist, congratulations to you. Now, first, I'd like to announce my class gift. You know, it's hard to pay for college. If you're poor, the federal government helps you out. That's a good thing, but what about the middle class? So a few years ago, I wrote a law that's now on the books that says you or your parents, whoever paid for college, can take as a full tax credit $2,500 off your federal taxes to help defray the cost of tuition for each year of college, provided, in Washington there's always a provided your family income is below $200,000 a year. So, if you come from a family who makes below $200,000, make sure you or mom or dad takes that credit. It's relatively new. Last year, about a third of all people entitled did not take it. Now, if you happen to forget, you can fill out a little form from the IRS for the last 3 years and get up to $7,500 back. Not a bad class gift. Now, what happens if you come from a family that makes above $200,000 a year? God bless you. I'd like to say a word to the moms and dads. I know how you feel. A few short years ago, my wife Iris and I sat where you did, watched our daughter Jessica come up on the platform and get her diploma. It was one of the greatest days of our lives. And you know, raising kids isn't easy. If you were like us, you probably thought about the tough times. We remembered when we had to rush Jessica to the hospital at 4 months old. She had 106.5 fever. We didn't think she'd make it. Praise God, she did. We remembered when she was 5 and we put her on the kindergarten bus for the first time. And as the bus pulled away, she ran to the back of the bus, tears streaming down her little cheeks, waving goodbye. And then at 2 o'clock, when Iris went to meet her on the bus's return, she bounded off the bus, happy as could be. She said, "Mommy, I came back." When we talked to her, we realized what was going on in her little mind. She thought that was it, new family, new house, new room. Then we remembered Jessie as a teenager, where she didn't say much to us. And when she did, we didn't understand a word she said. And then moms, dads, you see your daughters and sons get that diploma and become an adult before your very eyes. Congratulations to the moms and dads. Job well done. And President Murray correctly mentioned the veterans in our audience. I think we should, while we're having a great morning here at Marist in this beautiful setting, remember that there are young men and women, many from New York State, who are overseas in dangerous places like Iraq and Afghanistan, risking their lives for our freedom. Let's have a round of applause for them, too. Now, to this great class, Marist 2015. You're graduating with a whole lot of advantages. One is the education you've gotten here at Marist. Only about a third of all the young people your age will get a college degree. And the degree you've gotten here is better than most. It gives you a little leg up because the education is so fine here at Marist. Second, you're the first generation to grow up amidst all this new technology. In 1988, a few years before most of you were born, that was the first year the word internet was ever seen in print. No Google, no email, no text messaging, no tweeting, no LOL. In 1994, when most of you were toddlers, there were 13 websites on the World Wide Web. That's it, just 13. Now there are 14 billion. And that shows you how technology is changing our world so quickly. Now your parents, your teachers, me, the older generation, we try to get used to this technology, but it's hard for us. We're learning it as adults. We grew up without it. But you were born into it. Technology is to your generation like water is to a fish. You've been swimming in it your whole lives. And so the fact that you've gotten this great education here at Marist, and the fact that you're the first generation to grow up immersed in this technology and instinctively understanding it, means one thing. If there was ever a time to figure out what your dream is, now is it. Then reach high for it. See if you can achieve that dream. Then reach deep down inside yourself. See what you're made of to see if you can get there. My advice to the class of 2015 is very simple. Go for it. Now, sometimes you'll make the wrong choice, but if my experience is any indication, you'll pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move forward. But if you make the right choice, with a lot of hard work, a little luck, and some prayer, your life will be enriched forever. Now, I learned these lessons myself. When I was seated at college graduation several decades ago, as you are today, I learned that I had just won a scholarship to travel all around the world, all expenses paid, for a whole year. For me, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. I had never been out of the country before. But at the same time, also for the first time, I met a girl and I fell in love. I know what you're thinking. Ah. Well, I had to decide. Do I go around the world for a whole year on the all-expense-paid scholarship? Or do I stay home with the girl, my first true love? Put yourself in my shoes, class of 2015. What would you do? I should have listened to you. I stayed home with the girl. Don't clap yet, you romantic over there. The story continues. That summer, she went on a brief vacation, and I went to the airport to meet her on her return. As soon as she got off the plane, I saw by the look on her face something was the matter. She dumped me by Labor Day. There I was, no scholarship, no trip around the world, no girl. I said to myself, what a loser you are. You're never going to make anything of yourself. Give up. And in fact, I stayed in my house for several months and moped around feeling bad for myself. But somehow I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and moved forward. And a few years later, I found myself seated at graduation again, this time from law school. But on the way home from law school, I told Mom and Dad I was not going to join the fancy law firm like we had planned. I told them I loved politics. I told them my dream was to run for office, even though the chances of winning seemed remote. My parents were shocked. My mother was particularly disappointed. You see, I came from a family that struggled to send their son to college and law school. My father was an exterminator, never went to college, didn't make much money, and the law firm was paying $400 a week, which in those days was more money than my family had ever seen. But my dream was to run for public office, and so that fall, at the age of 23, I ran for the New York State Assembly against very long odds, and I had 3 opponents. There was the party machine candidate, there was a neighborhood activist, and then there was my mother, who was telling all her friends not to vote for me. So as she said, I'd get this dumb idea of being a politician out of my big, thick head. Well, graduates, a few years earlier, I sure didn't get that girl, but that November, I won the election. So, to this great class of Marist 2015, go for it. And because you've gotten a great education here at Marist, because you're the first generation to grow up instinctively understanding this technology, because you have great families that are always behind you, and most of all, let's hope they're behind me. And most of all, because you're you, it is not only my hope, it is not only my prayer, it is my confidence that you will succeed with flying colors and achieve your dream. To this great class of 2015, congratulations, good luck, Godspeed, and don't forget, go for it.